Not every rule you use at your table is going to be found in the book. Some rules define how we play together more so than how we play the game. So I have three categories of rules that kind of help my games run smoothly, ensure player comfort, and help everyone know what's to be expected before any die gets rolled. So my first category is my house rules. These are permanent across all campaigns and games that are run. They set consistent expectations no matter what system or setting you're using. Some examples of the house rules that could be used would be like no rules lawyering at the table, no homebrew classes or races to any of my games, or even, hey, you have to be here 30 minutes early and stay 30 minutes later. What these rules will do is it will prevent reoccurring disputes. It will also give your players kind of a standard to understand before even approaching a table. It'll also save you from having to re-explain every single game. These are rules that you're going to want to keep posted somewhere. If you play online, this might be your Discord. If you play in person, this might be something that you actually inform the player of before they ever even agree to the game. The second category of rules that I want to cover are your table rules. So these are game or campaign series specific. These help tailor your game to fit a specific story or narrative or mechanical balance. Some examples of these table rules might be that there's no resurrection magic in this setting, and so you can't bring people back from the dead. It might be, hey, all shopping and downtime, these long rest activities are going to be done in between episodes. We'll talk about it outside of the game. Another one might be, everyone starts the game with one magic item, and that is your magic item for the whole game, so make sure you take care of that. The whole point of our table rules is to keep the game on theme. The second half of that is to make sure that your players have fun. If you as the DM have found things in your book that you're like, hey, this doesn't really work with my game, I want to tweak this, these game mechanics don't flow well with the story that we're trying to tell, I'm going to change those. That is where your table rules is going to come in. The last category I have for this is your player rules. So this is the boundaries or lines that your players draw to make sure that everyone feels respected at the table. Some examples of your player rules might be no torture at the table, maybe no harming of dogs, a personal favorite, just because I love dogs. Another one might be, hey, there's no children at all. They just don't exist. I don't like kids. This set of rules is going to be the one that most makes your players feel empowered to roleplay in a fun environment, both for themselves and for others. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to share some of my rules that I would use across all of these categories to give you an example or give you some ideas for things you might run at your table. I would love to hear in the comments if you guys have other ideas that I haven't listed, maybe some good ones that I could use. One house rule I use across all my game series is the RSVP. This is just a one-click button we use in the Discord to let your DM know and your other players know if you are intending to be at the next session. So 1 week before that session, this RSVP will go out with a yes or no button. The players get to click saying that they intend to be there or they do not. That way, everyone's on the same page. At the 48-hour mark, I check back in, double check the list, make sure I know who's going to be there, who's not going to be. I ask, any changes? Otherwise, we're good to go. That gives your DM all the prep he needs a week ahead of time to make sure that he has a game ready for the players who are going to be there to enjoy it. As for table rules, they can vary across any setting, system, or game series. But I'll tell you one that I've used across my Zweihander series. Zweihander being a system that's very dark and perilous. In the system, they have a corruption mechanic that basically at the end of every session, your characters could become more and more and more corrupt, leading to debilitations, mutations, chaos, a lot more. For my players and I, we decided we didn't want that mechanic. We didn't want our player characters to be corrupted within a matter of sessions. We wanted this to be a long-standing campaign that they would need to survive through. Granted, there are other things that can corrupt them, without a doubt. But on the day-to-day, they won't continually have a chance to become completely mutated abominations. As far as player rules go, I'm a pretty easygoing, laid-back guy, not a lot of limitations, beyond the common sense ones of be respectful. However, I think one that I would bring up at any table, if it wasn't already brought up, is based on past experience, would be to avoid the hot topics, mainly politics. Bring that into a table, it's only asking for problems, we might as well just avoid it. Try to think of these categories of rules as the glue holding the bricks of the foundation of your game together. While the game mechanics and the rules in your rulebook make it a game, these rules that you establish with your group make it your game. Again, if you guys have some examples, maybe some really cool rules that you guys have incorporated into your games over the years, feel free to share them in the comments. I would love to see them. Maybe it would give me some ideas on how I can make my games better. That would be excellent. I would appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more of this content, if you enjoyed it or even watched it. Anyways, guys, my name is Wrath. This has been DiceBound. Hopefully you've enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one. Later.